Today, we are following the latest reaction from yesterday's IRS whistleblower testimony on the Hill against the Biden family. House Oversight Chairman James Comer said this to Newsmax just this morning.
The IRS witnesses voluntarily said, this investigation was headed towards Joe Biden because they're like most of Americans who are keeping up with this. The president's crackhead son didn't have the ability to negotiate multi-million-dollar deals from these foreign countries.
Right.
Joe Biden was involved. All roads lead to Joe Biden. We've always said that.
Now, during the hearing, IRS whistleblowers Gary Shapley and Joe Ziegler said that the Justice Department, DOJ, effectively obstructed and minimized its criminal investigation into Hunter Biden's tax crimes. Here's Ziegler and what he said in part.
I will also note that while the impression has been conveyed by the U.S. Attorney in Delaware that he has similar powers to that of a special counsel in this case, free rein to do as needed, that was not the case. It appeared to me, based on what I experienced, that the U.S. Attorney in Delaware in our investigation was constantly hamstrung, limited, and marginalized by DOJ officials as well as other U.S. attorneys. I still think that a special counsel is necessary for this investigation.
Of course, before yesterday, we didn't know his name. We only knew him as Whistleblower X. But Joe Ziegler, who we all were introduced to yesterday, is a gay Democrat with more than a dozen years serving within the agency's criminal investigative division. He says he's been attacked by his own party now as a traitor. Now, Ziegler testifying alongside his IRS supervisor, Gary Shapley, who claimed political influence also in the Hunter probe. Take a listen.
At every stage, decisions were made that benefited the subject of this investigation. For example, prosecutors concealed contents of Hunter Biden's laptop from investigators. DOJ slow-walked steps to include interviews, serving document requests, and executing search warrants. Warrants that were ready as early as April of 2020, but were delayed until after the November 2020 election and never pursued. Investigators were not allowed to follow up on WhatsApp messages from Hunter Biden's Apple iCloud backup, where he suggested he was sitting next to his father.
All right, Chief White House correspondent James Rosen joins us now with reaction to yesterday's hearing. Hey, James.
John and Bianca, good afternoon to you. Once again, the Biden White House reaction to the latest developments in the series of Hunter Biden investigations consists chiefly of statements and emails from aides to the president rather than coming from the president himself. That questioning of those two IRS whistleblowers on Capitol Hill yesterday featured the participation of no fewer than 3 Republican House committee chairs, and it came amid a broader effort, particularly by the House Oversight Committee, to establish a pattern of foreign influence peddling involving members of the Biden family and their associates, purportedly including the president himself. The leader of that effort has been Republican Oversight Chair James Comer of Kentucky. During the hearings, Ian Sams, a spokesman for the White House counsel's office, blasted out an email noting that on at least 2 occasions this year, including an interview on the Fox Business Network last night, Chairman Comer has referred to Ukraine as a, quote, adversary of the United States. At the White House press briefing yesterday, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was asked directly if the White House has any reason to dispute the whistleblower's testimony.
The President respects the rule of law. He respects the independence of the Department of Justice. On this case, let's not forget, this has been led by a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney. Let's not forget that. And the President has said, we have said, that he has not been involved.
Beyond that, Jean-Pierre referred reporters back to Ian Sams, the spokesman for the White House counsel's office. No press briefing today. President Biden has touched down in Philadelphia, is taking right now a tour of a Philly port, I believe, and soon is going to speak about Bidenomics and how it's working for the middle class and all Americans. John and Bianca.
All right, James Rosen, our Chief White House correspondent, live outside the White House. James, thank you.
Thanks, James. Appreciate that. All right, let's welcome in now the former acting director of national intelligence, Rick Grenell. Rick, good afternoon. Great to see you today.
Hello, John. Hello, Bianca. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Always. So let's get your reaction to some of this testimony from yesterday. It was interesting because we had heard from the Ways and Means what the whistleblowers had testified to, but the way Comer sort of wove in the financial records that his committee has uncovered What do you think the results were kind of tying those two together, and what did it show you, and I think maybe prove to some Americans who had any doubts that there might be connections?
Look, I think we had two explosive testimonies yesterday, very damning. And it won't surprise anybody who's watching that the entirety of the Washington, D.C. legacy media didn't cover it. Now, think about that. Joe Biden is literally having crisis after crisis, and all of those D.C. types are pretending like it's not happening. The rest of the country is posting on this on social media, talking about it. I couldn't think of an example that is more evident that the Washington, D.C. establishment is completely out of touch, living in a bubble. But let's review. It is so bad right now, and conservatives are winning by so much that you literally have Democrats coming forward and saying, wait a minute, the system is rigged and the regime is trying to crush us. You've got a presidential candidate on the left in Robert F. Kennedy Jr. saying that they're trying to crush me. They're using the same tactics that they use against conservatives, which is to call someone a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, an anti-Semite, or the new one, a Russian agent. They're using this same playbook now against Democrats. Now I see when this whistleblower comes forward, who is a Democrat, now they're trashing him. But look, what we need to realize is that when Democrats are coming over to our side to say the regime of Joe Biden is weaponizing government and it's really getting bad, we are winning. Keep it up.
Yeah, well, there was definitely a blackout with the media yesterday, for sure.
Well, I was going to say, and it's not like these guys are just two nobodies. I mean, they are longtime, veteran, respected IRS supervising agents that have a long, respected track record. So what they say certainly should, you would presume, carry weight among not only Republicans but Democrats as well.
Yeah, Rick, let's play this clip here where Ziegler talks about the money and where the IRS found that it went.
Mr. Ziegler, was the president telling the truth when he said that his son, Hunter Biden, had not made any money from China?
So I don't know what the president at the time was thinking, but what I can tell you based on what I testified in my transcript, that he did earn money from China.
Mr. Ziegler, is it true that the president's family received money originating from China, which was funneled through the Robinson Walker account?
That is correct.
So, you know, I think a lot of people watch this, Rick, and say, okay, now what? What happens next? There's been talk about impeaching Attorney General Merrick Garland, but what is actually going to happen?
Look, I can't tell you what's going to happen. We work really hard to elect Republicans or conservatives in Washington, D.C., and when they are in control, they better get serious. I don't want to see posting on social media and complaints. What we really need to see is action. So they have the power in the House. They better start using it, because otherwise they're really frustrating so many people that help put them there, and it's not going to bode well for re-elections. We're not going to be excited to help them get re-elected if, when they have the power, they don't hold people to account. This is such a serious moment for our country, and yet those people in Washington, D.C., who are there with power, the House Republicans, the chair people of all of these committees, they got to start performing.
Yeah, I mean, it hardly got any coverage. I mean, you look at some of the establishment media headlines, and it just this is buried, you know, below the fold in so many places.
Rick, before we let you go, finally, get your reaction to we're watching today. A grand jury will be meeting for Jack Smith's election case against former President Trump. We know he got a letter saying he was a target. Will Russell is supposedly going to be in front of this grand jury today. What do you think will be the next step here? Some say, you know, an indictment is looming for former President Trump.
Look, I'm of the mindset when you're outside of Washington, D.C. and you talk to regular people, they've all dismissed this whole thing as an attack on President Trump. The more indictments, the better, actually, because it's proving the overreach of the Democrats. They literally do not want this guy, Donald Trump, to come back to Washington and will do anything, including ruin our country, ruin the justice system, ruin the whole chance that Washington, D.C. and America can literally lecture other countries about the rule of law. They have completely imploded our credibility to tell other countries to not go after their political opponents and follow the rule of law. Washington, D.C. is corrupt. Everyone knows it except those people who live in Washington, D.C.
Ambassador Rick Grenell, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Rick. Good to see you.
Oh,
Thank you.